It is GP qualifying time, and this week it is Abu Dhabi that we're kicking into, and today we have 4 races of the event, 4 qualifying races, and this is what we have in store this week. So we've got UAE today with Azerbaijan, Spain and UAE. All dry, majority is dry races this weekend, so that's going to be very interesting indeed. We've got a Charles Leclerc with a 10% boost, as well as I'm using a level 8 Verstappen. So Leclerc not the strongest for me, but he will be with the 10% boost, so we're going to keep him on. And then we might also switch to Norris. Well, we won't switch to Norris because there's no rain. We're not used to saying it, but there's no rain, so we're not going to be switching to it. So in terms of the car, pretty standard, same in, week out. So here we go, we're going to get straight into it. And remember guys and girls, there is a Discord link below. I've created my own server, so jump in and we're a community that will help each other. But here we go, race 1, Abu Dhabi, where championships are won and lost. Race number 1, and it's a bad matchup. We are against a Max account. So it's going to be a tough one, but boy, we're going to relish a challenge because we're going to give it our all. And this is where we start. It's P5 and P9, so it's going to be a tough one here. And I'm going to have to change it up a little bit in the hope that I can make some positions. So dead fast on Leclerc and Max Verstappen, I am going to go for the lumberjack. Never failed me here. Watch it fail me now. So here we go. We're going to go hard with Leclerc, soft with Verstappen. So here we go then, into the grid. And can we get our famous start and move up some positions? We're going to try, and here we go. So we're off, and Leclerc goes through the middle, and he's up to P4. Swing it up the inside, Charles, come on. And it is P3. Verstappen's getting bogged down a little bit, but it's a good start from Leclerc. He's up to P3. Right over the back of Hamilton now as well. So we don't usually run a soft tyre on this track, but today there's a first for everything. And can we get one more place? Oh, we nearly got the rival there, but we are P3 and P4, and we are sandwiched pretty much with the rival. So we're going to keep it easy. It's going to be 3 laps for Leclerc. It's going to be 4 for Verstappen. And the aim is just to hold up the Leclerc behind us a little bit, as what the hell has happened to our Leclerc? He got that all wrong. Massive mistake by Charles there. And as a WF1 with Charles, he's under pressure to get the right strategy here. The question is, can he get the right strategy? That's what's on everyone's minds. And we're going to find out one way or the other, aren't we? Hopefully Ferrari are watching, and if I get it right, employ me. If not, you definitely avoid me. Employ me or avoid me. So here we go. Lap 3, so this will be the lap that Leclerc comes into the pits, and we won't be servicing. We're going to go for 2 laps, and we're going to try and jump ahead. So we're going to boost a little bit, create the gap. Max Verstappen, we are going to try and push out and boost at the end of this. So Charles is up to P2. We don't need to push any harder than that. We've got Max Verstappen now going to be pushing more, and the rival has get past, but we're not too bothered about that at this stage, as Leclerc now comes into the pits and Max Verstappen carries on round. So can we get Leclerc for the rival up front? And we're going to be coming back for some hards, I reckon. That's my go-to strategy here. Might not be everybody's. You can go mediums, but I've got the fuel to push as hard as I can, really. As Leclerc's flying past up there. Wow, Leclerc straight through, and he's straight through again. He's up to P5. Brilliant move. And we are going to keep pushing round. So Leclerc is now going to take the lead of this race, and we're not doing too bad. So I'm going to try and stretch this for 3 laps and come back and do a 2 at the end. Verstappen comes out the pits, P7. And I'm going to hope that the hard tyre is the right choice here. It is my go-to strategy. 4 mediums, 4 hard. It's what I like, but whether or not it's the right call, we'll know. So, we're going to try and keep this position now with Charles. And we're going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. We've got Verstappen tucked right behind the rival. And remember, we are on a bad matchup in this race. as we come back into P6 now, and hopefully we can get past the rival Leclerc. That's key here. Up the inside, please, Verstappen. Maybe not, but Leclerc is out front nicely. Come on, Max. It's just not going to work at the minute, as Charles comes into the pits from P1, and now we get the rival. So brilliant move by Max, and it is now up to P5. We've got Charles coming out the pits and the rival as well, so it doesn't look like we're going to catch the rival. We're not far off him, sadly just a bit too far. So the question is, can we get past Hamilton and Leclerc? Hamilton will pit at the end of this lap. Leclerc will smile for some cameras. And Max now all over the back of Lewis Hamilton. But it's can we even get the Ferrari? We're not the best on fuel, as Hamilton holds us up. Charles is absolutely flying out for him. So it's down to this lap, and the fuel is not a great situation, but we're going to try and get past Charles, because we like that extra few little points, don't we? So can we get him in to this corner here? No, we can't. We are absolutely... What is that all about? That is terrible. And now we're up against it, and we're running out of fuel. We're going to be pretty much hung out to dry here. We're going to try and push some buttons and conserve, but it's only going to be P4. We were unlucky with the matchup, but P1 and P4 to start. It's not the end of the world. Race number 2 and Baku, and we've got a nicer matchup this time, so hopefully we can score some good points. And remember, if you're watching these videos and you do enjoy them, do make sure you're subscribed, get notified for when I upload, and you'll forever be learning every single day. So we're going to try an old strategy of ours. We're going to try and hold the field up and get Leclerc ahead, and we're going to be going for the dead fast again on Max to try and get him through the field. All sounds good. Whether it is good, different story. But here we go. Race number 2. Charles Leclerc P3, Max Verstappen P6. And Charles Leclerc should get a very handy start here. Straight through the middle, thank you very much. Verstappen cuts the corner, and Verstappen is into P2. What a start. From 3rd and 6th on the grid in Baku, one of the smallest first corners, and we have made it to P1 and P2. That's what we needed. Now we will swap these round soon. We will swap Leclerc and Verstappen round and hold up the field. That's the key here. And then what we'll do is we'll hold up the field as long as we can with Charles. So we swap over. Charles Leclerc inherits P2. And we're going to try and keep Leclerc behind us. And Leclerc is on the softs. So it's going to be hard to hold him, but we have got that good blocking. But we're just going to apply some little boosts here and there to keep him behind. And that's the main reason for this type of boost, really. Good, very good blocking boost. And you can see the gap now. Leclerc has made Verstappen have a 2-second gap. And we're starting to hold the field up. Charles will be getting frustrated behind us. And Verstappen is crawling away at the front. So we're going to boost a little bit here. Keep him behind and cut down. And yet the gap is still now 2.5 seconds. So we are increasing the gap. We're going to move Verstappen up to medium, as we nearly lose the position with Leclerc. And with a good matchup, it's quite easy to do this. But based on the matchup before, when I'm playing a Max account, it's impossible to get the positions to do it. But we are coming in with Verstappen. No servicing. We're going to go for 2 laps. And we've still got Leclerc holding up Charles. And Charles will be coming in this lap. So that is a beautifully worked strategy. We've got Verstappen coming back out and hopefully before Max, but it's not. And let me guess, guys, Max won't be letting me past any easy, will he? If Brazil GP is anything to go by. And we are going to get stuck with a bit of team orders here as well. So I'm going to cut down Verstappen, because we're going to get stuck here. And I'm going to stretch it to 3 laps for Max. And Charles is going to go around pretty much again, I'd say. We're going to get another lap out of him, and we're going to come back and be fast at the end. So I'm just going to conserve with him. And we are away with Verstappen at the front. So a bit of a risky strategy, but behind us, softs, mediums, and Leclerc on the hard. So we should be able to catch him up pretty quickly. So I've got every confidence. I probably should have pitted for mediums and just held the position. That's one to think about when I redo my strategy. But for now, I'm going to run it very close to the end of these tyres. And I'm going to start to boost Verstappen. So Verstappen comes through and we'll be pitting at the end of this lap. Charles comes into the pits. We haven't got a massive gap, but we should be able to get back through the field fairly quickly. And now Charles comes out and we're going to just close the gap now. So ahead of us, we've got 3 pit stops ahead and a hard tyre. So it should be absolutely fine. Definitely should have done the 4-lap pit stop to maintain position, but never mind. We're not perfect. As already we're right on the back of Sainz, and I'm just going to cut down, save the tyre a little bit through here where it's a bit more difficult to overtake. And we're going to boost again then. So out of the last corner onto the straight, we are now boosting. And we should be able to gain a position or 2. And there we go, we're up to P4. We've got Max Verstappen pitting this lap. And can we make a move on Max? Charles goes round the outside, brilliant move. And that's what we needed. A bit of a faltering strategy, but we're making it up now. So P3 for Charles. Max Verstappen's on his way to another World Championship in P1. And now it's a case of getting Leclerc. So Leclerc's on the hard tyre and we fly back through it. It was never in doubt, guys. Never. We never worried about the strategy, did we? But P1 and P2, the only option I would have done is I probably should have pitted Charles lap 4, maintain position instead of crawling round. But that's the strategy I chose and I had confidence it would work. And quickly, we're well ahead because I think Charles Leclerc did pit anyway. So even on the hard tyre, Charles Leclerc pitted. So it wouldn't have mattered with a held position. But P1 for Max, Charles Leclerc coming over for P2. And that is our first 47 points of the week in the bag at Baku. Spain is our race 3. Catalonia, aka Barcelona in this sense. But it's race 3. And can we have a terrific race? We've got an okay matchup. It's fairly close though. And it is P3 and P8. So we're going to do what we've done every single time. We're going to go dead fast on Max with the softs. And I'm actually going to go for something like a Gladiator. Because I want the blocking, but I want the speed. So Leclerc's going to start P3. Verstappen P8. And I'm not going to try and push too much with Charles. But we should be able to inherit the lead in the first corner. So here we go. Lights out and away we go. And Charles Leclerc does get a good start up the inside. Now sat behind Max and into turn 1. Leclerc P1. What? Soon? No. P2 for Leclerc at the minute, but he does now inherit P1. And look at that, Max Verstappen on that dead fast has made a storming start. P8 on the grid, all the way up as Max Verstappen absolutely takes us off. P2 and P3 now. Max ruins my commentary. I'm just absolutely loving life. And Max Verstappen comes and wipes Leclerc out. Not what we wanted for the commentary. But P2 and P3, obviously you'll be thinking now these two are on the same strategy, so I've got to build a gap a little bit. So I'm going to start to push Charles. Medium boost until lap 4, or the end of it. And we're going to come back for mediums on both. We've got the fuel to do it. We've not got the best tyres on the Charles. So we'll just keep an eye out every single lap. We need 25% a lap. And around we go. So Verstappen has lost a bit of time compared to Charles. Don't think that's solely down to the medium push. But we are sitting nice and easy. And it is Max Verstappen out. So he'll probably go on to hard tyres maybe after the first round of pit stops. And Charles Leclerc, we're looking absolutely fine on tyres. and we now have a 3.2 second gap. So we've nearly closed the gap for the pit stop. Nearly there. So P3 for Max, he carries round, and all this time is holding Leclerc up, and that's going to hopefully bring me Charles Leclerc back out into some clear air. And it's always saying Charles Leclerc. It seems like I've mentioned him 250 times during this weekend so far, and we've only in 3 races. As we come into pits with Charles, 1% tyre, so we've absolutely judged that. Max Verstappen coming in as well, holds the rival up a little bit more, so we're not going to get ahead of the rival. Can we get, so we've got some clean air to run in, that's perfect. And what about Max? Can Max get some clean air? No. It's a Max versus Lewis fight all over again in Spain. Question is, can we get past him pretty quickly? It's what we need. Up the inside, please, Max. Maybe not. And this is crucial because we're 6.8 seconds behind. So we need to clear Lewis up the inside, and we do. Rival comes into the pits. 7.2 seconds. It's going to be close. And I imagine the rival will be out on soft tyres. They are. It's going to be close coming down to the pit line. And we are ahead just. P1 and P3. And now we've got to chase down Max Verstappen in P2. We've got that dead fast. That should help us. We're okay on fuel. The question is, will the soft tyres behind us be too fast for us? Hopefully not. But here we go. Up the inside. Nope. And we stick behind. So can we get him into the first corner? Big lunge by Max, and it is P2. Max must have saw Max come in there. P1 and P2 then in this race, and Leclerc on Gladiator starting to lap the field, P18, and Verstappen closing him down. So both of these boosts have speed, one more than the other, and obviously both have fuel as well, but one has tyre management, one has blocking. Alex Albon has crashed in sector 3, so he's out of the race. No safety car, we're too late in. And we are just cruising now to the end. I want to make sure as well during this, thanks to all my subs, we are now a Hutch content creator. Big shout out to every single one of you who watches the videos or subscribes. Massive thank you. And that is 47 points in Spain as we approach famous Abu Dhabi again. It must be something with the first and last races, because last week in Brazil, first race Brazil, last race Brazil, we got bad matchups. This week, Abu Dhabi, first race was a bad matchup, second race is a bad matchup. Not what we wanted to see, because that makes it extremely tough for me to go. But we're going to fight it, and I'm going to just change some strategy up here and hope for the absolute best. So, here we go. We're going to use Eternal Flame for the overtake. And I'm just going to put both on softs. But we're hoping for some good starts here. And the rival is on hard tyre. So we should be able to get a good start. So here we go. P5 for Leclerc. Can he push forward? He can't, but Max Verstappen can push up the inside. And we are P6 and P3. And hopefully we can get a run on some drivers now. So P3 and P6. Leclerc with the dead fast should absolutely belt round this track. And we are pushing P2 all along. Can we go up the inside? We can't. So we're going to cut down straight away. Make sure we cancel that pit to save ourselves any embarrassment, as Leclerc nearly loses out to Verstappen. So here we go. So P1 is on medium tyres. So we're going to want to get past P1 pretty quickly. So I'm going to push Leclerc a little bit more and get him right up to the back of these two and cut down again. We'll push a little bit more through this section, tricky section, and we nearly get past Charles Leclerc through there. He stumbled on that corner, and we're going to just try and get past up the inside. Still not happening with Charles. Charles v Charles, not happening at all. And we can't get past that medium tyre at the minute. But we've got the fuel and the tyres. Can we slip one up the inside? We can. So we're into P2. We've used a little bit more than we wanted to. And Max Verstappen is there in P6. So as we continue on, we've got a 2.5 second gap. And I'm actually thinking about swapping to some mediums here for Max. Reason being, if I do 2 laps, I'm just going to come out right behind the rival because he's doing 4 laps anyway. So I'm just going to change it up. I'm risking everything here, but I don't mind risking it to show you what's out there strategy-wise. So Charles comes out. Max Verstappen comes out the pits. He's going to have some clean air if he can get rid of the Alpine fairly quickly, and he can. So, clean air to running. We've got Leclerc up to P4, Max P9, with some fairly useful pit stops ahead. And I've got the fuel spare with Max at the moment. So we're right on the rival. Can we jump the rival? Don't think we can. So we're going to just carry on as we are. As we've got Max Verstappen. He's going to fortunately not come out through the Ferrari. And we're not getting past at the moment. So I'm going to cut down because I'm going to come back for mediums. A bit of a messy race as Max Verstappen is up to P4. So Max is making moves. Charles Leclerc is ahead of the rival behind, you see. But we're going to come for mediums. We're going to try and undercut because the rival might not be able to push fully. Max comes round. Max will pit this lap. And Leclerc is back, and he's going to be behind 2 cars. But the question is, can we get anywhere near Charles Leclerc out front? I don't think we are. We're 11 seconds, and that gap is coming down, but we're going to be stuck right behind. But we get Max Verstappen, and now we are into the pits with our own Max. So it's worth a try with this strategy. We're up to P3 with Leclerc. He's not bad on fuel. And Verstappen will come out the pits as well. What about the rival? Rival's out, so we're probably not going to win this race. The question is, can we get at least 45 points? It'd be 45 at the double for Abu Dhabi. But it's good to know. It's good to test the strategies in qualifying as we get P3 as to what happens in the real Saturday and Sunday. Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to know what strategy I want to follow. That's key. So I'll be knowing what to do. So Charles Leclerc P2, Max P3. That's the way it's probably going to stay. Unless Charles decides to go off the track somehow. Especially with me on them medium tyres. But it's the best of a bad situation with the matchups. We've got 2 Max accounts in 4 races. Well, I can't do a lot about that either way. But here we go. P2 for Leclerc. P3 for Max. We tried something different. We still ended up with 45 points. So yes, we gave it a try. But 45 points is consistent what we've got for Abu Dhabi. So let's have a look at the rival. I think it was a bot rival, but still couldn't overcome the speed of the bot. So 45 points in this race. 1823 team score. Max Verstappen, Max Leclerc, and in the cars, Max account. So we did what we could. Sadly, just the 45 points. And let's see where that leaves us in the leaderboard. So champion, we are P1 at the moment. Chances are we'll be replaced at the top. But it's 184 points. It's 45 points in both Abu Dhabi and 47s in the rest. That's it for the qualifying. Let me know how you've got on in qualifying as well. Did you get bad matchups in Abu Dhabi? Let me know. I'll be interested to know. And if not, I don't see you in the next one. I want to see you in my Discord server. I'll catch you later.